Welcome to the UFC 245 press conference inside the Hulu Theater in New York, New York. The last pay-per-view of the year will be a memorable one from Las Vegas, Nevada on December 14th. The T-Mobile Arena will play host to 3 title fights from the fight capital of the world. And let's kick things off with the Women's Bantamweight Championship matchup. Introducing Dutch kickboxing sensation, winner of 5 straight fights, and looking to avenge her previous loss against the current champ, here is the challenger, the Iron Lady, Germaine de Randamie. And now, welcome the best female mixed martial artist on the planet. Building her resume as the greatest of all time, riding a 9-fight win streak, here is the 2-weight world champion, the Lioness, Amanda Nunes. Next up, the UFC featherweight world title matchup. In an island turf war between Australia and Hawaii, a fast-rising star, undefeated in the UFC, with an incredible 17-fight win streak. Here is Alexander the Great Volkanovski. And now coming to the stage, one of the top pound-for-pound fighters on the planet, the pride of Hawaii, and nearly unbeatable at 145 pounds, with 13 consecutive wins at the weight class. Welcome the reigning defendant featherweight king, Max Blessed Holloway. And in the UFC 245 headliner, tensions will boil over on the collision course for welterweight supremacy. 7 straight wins, riding the momentum of his dominant August victory over Robbie Lawler. Here is the enigmatic, controversial, 170-pound star, Colby Covington. Making the final walk at UFC 245 will be the newly crowned welterweight title holder, a wrestling powerhouse, winner of 14 straight bouts, the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
What's up, New York City? How are you? Who's got the first question?
I want to start with Kamaru, please. Kamaru, of course, we know what a big fight this is and what a rivalry fight is, the emotion that's going to be on the line. So I want to ask, in your preparation for this, are you best served avoiding it and not trying to get into it, or do you best serve tapping into it and really kind of leaning into this emotional battle?
It doesn't really matter. You know, I don't avoid anything. I said yes to everything. So, you know, all I'm waiting for is December 14th, that you guys finally get the fight you've all wanted for so long.
And Kamaru, of course, you had some injuries that you had to clear up to get to this point, but I want to ask you now moving forward, I mean, this would be a big title defense for you, and what do you want your legacy to be? I mean, are you a guy that wants to fight frequently and beat everybody? Are you looking for money fights, big fights? I mean, give me an idea what the plan is for you as champion.
Well, there's really no plan. You know, when I came into this, I said that I wanted to be the best. Now, that's what I'm looking to do for as long as I can do it until I walk away to do something else. So there's really no plan. A legacy is something that people bestow upon you. It's not something that you come in and say, yeah, this is my legacy, this is my legacy. No, it's something that, you know, after your body of work, when you're done, people say, that's the legacy that you left.
Thanks, Kamaru. Colby, I wanted to ask you, you brought your belt today as promised. How are you viewing this fight? I mean, is this a title defense for you? Is it a title unification fight? I mean, how do we build this properly for you?
Everybody knows this is my second title defense. My last title defense was against the most dangerous guy in the division, Robbie Lawler, and you saw what I did on his face. I landed a strikes record on his face, and that's a guy I liked. Wait till you see what I do to this clown. And let's be honest, this is only a big fight because I made it a big fight. I could care less about this fight. The only reason I'm taking this fight is because Dan Lambert wants this fight. I'm Dan Lambert's professional hitman.
Colby, you and Dana have had some, kind of choice words for each other back and forth in the media, press conference, that sort of thing. I'm curious, have you guys had a chance to sit down and talk yet, get on the same page? Where's the relationship with you and Dana right now?
Dana will see December 14th who the face of the UFC is. He recognizes business. He knows I do good business. He will see December 14th why Marty Fake Newsman's even relevant right now. No one cares about him. The only reason he's relevant is because he attaches his name to mine. December 14th, only on pay-per-view, I'm detaching this little clown from my coattails.
Colby, I got to ask about American Top Team. What's your preparation going to be like? I mean, are you going to be able to train fully there, get their full attention? It seems like some of the team has come out against you and said they don't like your approach right now.
Yeah, those are a bunch of snowflakes that are coming out like that. I got a great team over at American Top Team, led by my head coach, Conan Silveira. He brings in some great training partners, and I've never felt better. You're going to see the best Colby Chaos Covington on December 14th.
And just one last one, Colby, if I could. I got to ask you what you're thinking about this weekend. I mean, the main event here could be a #1 contender fight. Are you wanting MASVIDAL to win so you can fight him? Or are you wanting him to lose?
I want to be the one to end the hype of the broken mediocre fighter championship this weekend. We all know it's a journeyman championship. They're both 50-50 in the last couple years. They win one fight, lose one fight. So I would absolutely love to get my hands on MASVIDAL. But let me tell you one thing. Win, lose, or draw tomorrow night for MASVIDAL, I will get locked in a cage and not go to jail for beating his ass, because he's said some things in the media, and now it needs to be settled, because if I beat him up on the streets, he's not going to have anybody to pay his medical bills. We need Uncle Dana to pay his medical bills after I'm done with him.
Thanks, Colby.
Colby, over here. Just wondering, how does it feel to not be fighting in New York? I mean, a lot of us thought you'd be fighting this weekend.
Yeah, I was looking forward to fighting this weekend. That's why the President of the United States is coming out. But there's a reason why I'm not fighting this weekend. You might want to ask this guy. He pissed hot. He couldn't pass a piss test. So that's the real reason. He had to let the EPO get out of the system for this weekend.
Kamaru, would you like to respond to that?
All right, real quick. Let's make some noise on December 14th. You guys can't wait for me to murder this clown. Thank you.
No one cares about you, Marty. Stop talking, man. Pay-per-view buys are going out the window when you talk, man.
I think the people just spoke.
Stop talking. Yeah, because I want people to hate me. That's a business model. No one cares about you. You're boring, man. People would rather watch flies fuck than watch you fight.
Just quickly, Colby, Kurt Angle said he wants to be there December 14th. Any news on him coming down, possibly walking out with you, maybe even being in the octagon after the fight?
Yeah, I've been talking to Kurt Angle, and he should be at the fight as long as the WWE schedule permits for him. And I'd love to have him wrap the belt around my waist if the president can't come out, or if Candace Owens can't wrap it around my waist. But I will have a great list of superstar to feel coming out to see yours truly, Colby Chaos Covington.
Just quickly, Alex, mate, what would it mean for you to bring the UFC title back to Australia?
It'll mean a lot. It'll mean everything to me. Again, I'm spending time away from my family, and that's nothing but motivation. I'll let these two guys go at it. They'll make the world watch, and then I'll steal the show. So I can't wait to take that belt back home.
You've had a long career. How does it feel to be here in New York City after being in the regional promotions, fighting for so long to get in the UFC, and now fighting a legend like Max Holloway?
It's a long trip over here. I come from Thailand, so I haven't had much sleep, but yeah, it's all good. But find someone like Max Holloway, again, nothing but respect. He's a great champion, but I've got to do my thing December 14th. I think the blessed era ends, and you know what I mean? It's my time. I know, obviously, he's a big boy. Again, nothing but respect. He's a big boy. I'm a nice guy, right? So, I can see he cuts a lot of weight, and I'll make that decision easier for him by taking that belt and let him move up.
Last question from me, Max. Where does Alex rank on the toughest opponents that you've had defending your title? Where does he rank?
That's not my job to do the ranking. You guys do it. He's #1 contender. He's the next cupcake on the list, and I can't wait to taste the flavor.
If I could, for Amanda, please. Amanda, of course, you have 2 belts up there on the table. I know that 135 isn't the easiest for you to make. It's difficult. So I'm curious, why is that the title you want to defend right now? Why not do the featherweight, maybe make your life a little bit easier?
So I want to do this at 145. I asked this fight twice to be at 145, but for some reason she don't want. And after like back and forth with UFC, and then we decided, I talked to my coach, I discussed with my wife, and then like said, you know what? If we keep like fight to make this happen at 145, we never is gonna fight. Let's do this at 135, I'm gonna go down again. And after this one, I go up to defend my other one.
So I'm curious, I mean, you already have some history with her already, but to have to go through that process that she doesn't want to take it at that division, what do you think of her now as a challenger? I mean, is she deserving of a shot at you right now?
You know, like, I feel like she deserves, you know. She just beat the #1 contender. I forgot her name. Little forgot, I'm sorry. But, you know, she's the next one. I respect her a lot. You know, she evolved a lot. But we fight when I was beginning my career in the UFC. Now I'm a double champion, and there's a lot of experience involved in that. And I will bring this belt home with me. I'm not down in my mind.
Germaine, obviously, I just want to ask you to address that. I mean, can you verify the accuracy of that and explain to us why, you know, you weren't willing at one division, but you aren't another?
Yeah, she's right. She's absolutely right. I declined to fight at 145. I was the 145 champion. Nobody defeated me to take that belt. Only the UFC took that belt. I won the 135 belt. It's the most active weight division. I mean, there are a lot of girls in 135, not 145, and you know, I've been through a lot of shit. So 135 it will be.
And let me ask you, Germaine, for you personally, is this more about a title shot, winning a title, or is this about some redemption, both against her and maybe against the public, the perception?
None of those. None of those. I respect Amanda a lot. To be honest, I could care less about the belt. I just want to fight the very best. And I have the utmost respect for Amanda, and I believe she is the very, very best at this moment, and I will bring it to her.
Germaine, just down here. You know, like John said, obviously you two have history. Back in 2013, Amanda was your only loss in the UFC. What do you think you need to do differently this time to put her away?
The difference is 6 years. Like Amanda just said, she was in the beginning of her MMA career or her journey. And the same was for me. I was more of a kickboxer than a mixed martial artist. But that's the difference, 6 years.
And Amanda, obviously back in 2013 was when you first went up against Germaine. What do you think about her involvement in the sport, and how do you think it goes down against her a second time?
Actually, she definitely evolved, you know, especially her takedown defense. You know, I've been studying her a lot. I know her very well. I beat her. I was in the beginning of my career in the UFC, and I was be able to beat her. Imagine now the experience that I have, these 2 belts at home, and I'm here to make statements, make history, keep putting my names in the top of the mountain, and I'm here to stay, and I will prove it once again. Be ready, guys.
And Amanda, this is your 5th title defense at bantamweight. But where would you rank Germaine in the other opponents that you've been up against before?
Germaine is a very good striker, you know. Actually, if you don't play her game, she don't have any chance against you. And I'm gonna make her play my game, and the fight's gonna play around the way I want, and I have all the advantage against her.
Who has the next question? Go ahead.
Over here.
It's actually for you.
Here. A question for both Colby and Kamaru. I'll go to Colby first on this. A lot of professionals, a lot of your fellow fighters see this as a very competitive fight, that you guys both share very similar skill sets. Colby, I'm wondering if you can tell me, where do those similarities end?
Those similarities ended, he's taking my sloppy seconds. I beat everybody he beat, but I beat him before he beat him. So he had to come pick up the carcasses off the dead bodies that I left. So, he's not impressive. He sucks at fighting. And December 14th, I'm going to expose him.
Kamaru, what do you make of the idea that you guys are pretty much dead even when it comes to your skill and the techniques that you use?
Everybody always says that they have a chance, but what fight have I been in the UFC that you've seen as competitive?
Emil Mick. You barely beat that guy. He sucks. You gassed out in 3 rounds.
Who?
Exactly. Emil Mick, a guy that nobody cares about. You gassed out in 3 rounds.
Listen,
gassed out.
Bottom line is,
everybody knows you're on equal.
Everybody thought my last fight was going to be competitive.
$25,000 if you could pee in a cup right now and it passes.
Put your money up.
I will. I'll put it up right now.
Bring it out. Pull it up.
I'll put it up right now. 25 grand.
Is the money sitting in your private jet?
It is, buddy.
And just one for Max Holloway. Max, one of the reasons these people love you so much is you're blessed. You're always presenting good vibes. What do you make of all this craziness going on next to you?
I love it. I love it. You keep going, boys.
Go ahead.
Dana, I wanted to ask you about Germaine. Obviously, when the title was taken from her a few years ago, did you expect her to eventually work her way back to this position? Does it surprise you at all that she's here fighting for a belt again?
No, she's one of the best in the world. Has been for a long time. Not just in this sport, but in combat sports in general. So no, not surprised at all.
And Max is saying there, I know he wants a UFC Hawaii event. I know you guys were out there watching a show together recently. Is there anything you can tell us about getting that closer?
No, there's literally zero. Zero.
Okay, and one for Kamaru. What do you make of this insinuation from Colby that you're on steroids, you can't piss in the cup clean, all that stuff?
They all say that, with the way I'm beating guys, they all say that, but it is what it is. December 14th, there will be a beheading, and everyone will see it and watch it live.
That's not a very good explanation, buddy. You sound like you're stuttering over there. You okay? I know you gave Glenn a heart attack for all those years you were ducking me, so don't worry, he'll be watching from hell on December 14th.
First of all, can you even read?
I went to D1 scrub, you went to D2. Good joke. Not.
Colby, I did want to follow up on that. Why do you feel this way about Kamaru? Like, why are you bringing these sort of topics up?
Everybody knows the Black Zillions team is notorious for doing steroids. Anthony Johnson, Rashad Evans, all the guys over there. Alistair Overeem when he was over there. I have inside information that, he was doing EPO for a couple years, and that's just that. That's a fact, He has no good response. He can't even defend himself, so I think it's pretty clear he's on steroids. But it's not going to make a difference, because when I get my hands on him, he will melt.
Who has the next question? I'm going to take 2 more questions.
A question for Kamaru.
Go ahead.
Are you guys talking about Marty's hair? He's got 30% of his hairline left. Isn't that disgusting? Let's talk about that lazy eye. Donald Trump's putting all the people in America back to work.
Let's switch it up.
Unemployment's at an all-time low.
Let's switch it up.
Put that lazy eye back to work.
Shut up. Let me talk. Shut up.
No one wants to hear you talk. They came for me, buddy. Come on, bro. Don't talk, man. No one wants to hear you talk. Every time you talk, a pay-per-view goes out the window.
Shut up.
No one wants to hear you talk, bro. You're boring. No one gives a fuck about you.
Shut up.
No one gives a shit, man. Not even your daddy, but don't worry. I'm going to be your daddy on December 14th.
Next.
Kamaru, for you, so he gave his reason as to why he thinks this fight didn't happen tomorrow. Why, from your perspective, is this fight not happening tomorrow?
Man, I've said yes to everything.
You said yes to George? You said yes to Leon Scott?
Absolutely.
I don't remember you saying yes to them. Why are you lying to the people? That's why everybody hates you, because you're fake. At least I'm honest. I'm brutally honest, yeah, but at least I'm honest. Stop being fake. Stop lying to people.
Even last week, Dana, tell the people what I texted you last week. Even last week, I was still willing to step in here and fight. Even last week.
Let's do it tomorrow.
I said yes. This clown said no. Like he said no 4 of the times before.
No chance.
We have the proof.
No chance. There's no proof.
You were supposed to headline St. Louis.
No
Everyone
chance.
knows that.
Nobody knows that.
headline-
Go ask Dan Lambert. We asked Glenn Robinson to fight you 4 or 5 times early in the career.
It doesn't matter. Listen,
it does matter because you're lying.
December
Fake
14th.
news. That's why your name's
you're gonna
Marty
be
Fake
locked in the
Newsman.
cage across
No
from
one
me,
cares about you.
and you're gonna realize
Shut up.
this shit gets
Stop talking.
real.
Pay-per-view's going out the window. You couldn't draw money with a green crayon and a white piece of paper.
Colby, will you be sitting with the president tomorrow?
As long as Uncle Daniel okays it, but you know, I think I should be. You know, the president came out, he wanted to support me, and I was hanging out with Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. at the Trump Tower today, had lunch with them, and they want me to sit with the president tomorrow and hang out with them, so I'm hoping that I'll get the good graces of Dana and the UFC to go sit with them.
Unfortunately, Ariel, he has not paid the standard fee, so he cannot sit with the president tomorrow. You know, actually, I don't think he's allowed in the arena tomorrow.
Fake news.
Will he sit with the president, Dana? Will it be allowed?
We'll see.
Okay. I just had one more for Amanda. I'm just curious, because it's the first time I see your belt. Is your belt smaller than Max Holloway's? And if so, how do you feel about that?
Why are you starting stuff? Like, Ariel, you are drama.
I'm just curious.
It's like, I don't know. Like, ask Dana. I don't know. Like, I'm very happy, you know. I can have the smaller one, but it's still at home with me.
You got 2 of them. She got 2 of them. She's badass.
Who has the next question?
Question for Amanda. You're the only double champion up there, so I'm just curious if you think maybe you should be the main event or the co-main event, or if it doesn't matter to you.
I would be very happy, you know, but it is what it is. UFC know what they do, but I'm very happy to be here today, you know. And December 14th, I will do what I'm supposed to do. Bring my belt home with me. That is the only thing matters.
All right, guys, I'm going to rip this stuff apart. We're going to square these guys off for photo ops, and then in 15 minutes, The Rock will be out here.
They all got something to say. Better get out of my way. We do it all in a day. Tell them that we're not the same. Feel like a million this. Watching my back for that deviousness. I see him watching my moves all the time, so this here is like really a million hits. Go for the takedown. Levels to this not the same now. Taking them out, better stay down. Been giving them balls like a playground, oh yeah. And you're gonna know my name. Make them all go insane. Smile at you haters, just stack up this paper, cause me and them not the same. I got a monster inside of me. I got a monster inside. Don't wanna see all that side of me. Really, there's nowhere to hide. I've been an animal. I see the fear in your eyes. Move like a cannibal. Yeah, I'm ready to rise. Hot like I'm flammable. I got the fire inside. Run like an animal. Yeah, I'm ready to rise. I couldn't take it for granted. Put in the work, been a star, had to plan it. We never fake it at all, I've been candid. With this going crazy, been bringing the panic like, whoop, this is that king shit. Said you're the one that don't mean shit. Been on a roll like a scene is. While they sleeping on me, how a dream is. Oh yeah, paving the way. I come alive when it's late in the day. We need it all, couldn't take it away. I've been the villain that's saving the day. Hey, and you're gonna know my name. Make them all go insane. Smile at you haters, just stack up this paper, cause me and them not the same. I got a monster inside of me. I got a monster inside. Don't wanna see all that side of me. Really, there's nowhere to hide. I've been an animal. I see the fear in your eyes. Move like a cannibal. Yeah, I'm ready to rise. Hot like I'm flammable. I got the fire inside. Run like an animal. Yeah, I'm ready to rise. I've been an animal. I see the fear in your eyes. Move like a cannibal. Yeah, I'm ready to rise. Hot like I'm flammable. I got the fire inside. Run like an animal. I'm ready to rise.
like my candy. I want my candy.
Come on, boys. Be cool. Don't touch each other. Do not touch each other. Thank you. That's good. Go.
Show up, bitch.
Thank you.
It all comes down to this. Tyron Woodley and Kamaru Usman.
They all got something to say. Better get out of my way. Go for the takedown. Levels to this not the same now.
What a performance for Kamaru Usman.
There's a new welterweight king. And who might be next?
I'm the best welterweight on the planet right now. And a lot of people hate.
What's up, Usman? You suck. Hey, you suck, Usman. You're next. You're next. Yeah, paving the way. I come alive when it's late in the day. We need it all, couldn't take it away. I've been the villain that's saving the day. Hey.
Colby really made a statement. This performance is going to heighten anticipation for Covington and Kamaru Usman.
Marty, fake news, man. Where you at? We can do it tonight. We can do it right now. Where you at, Kofi? Let's do it. I got a monster inside of me. I got a monster inside. Don't want to see all that side of me. Really, there's nowhere to hide. I've been an animal. I see the fear in your eyes. Move like a cannibal. Yeah, I'm ready to rise.
I want to that guy up so bad. I'm gonna enjoy brutalizing him.
Yeah, I'm ready to rise. Hot like I'm flammable. I got the fire inside.
His wrestling's not even close to my level. His cardio's not even close. He's gonna get exposed. There's nowhere else to run. Now I'm gonna melt that snowflake.
Max Holloway is the greatest featherweight champion of all time. He's cleaning his division out.
I got a monster inside of me. I got a monster inside.
17 consecutive wins, 7-0 in the UFC. Amanda Nunes.
She is unquestionably the best.
The Iron Lady, Germaine de Randamie,
10-time World Muay Thai champion.
I'm ready to rise.
One of the biggest superstars in the game, Nate Diaz is back.
I'm a warrior. I'm here to kill and be killed.
Undefeated in the streets, Jorge Masvidal.
The real is back. If you like watching real fighters, tune in.
Live inside Madison Square Garden in New York, USA.
The world's greatest arena.
Headlined by Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz.
This is the battle's gonna be game belt.
Just when you thought you have seen it all.
If you're some man, what the rock is cooking. If you smell what the rock is cooking. Thank you.
Are you ready, New York City? I'm hyped up. I know you're hyped up. The world is hyped up. The entire card is hyped up to see 244. The entire card is so stacked. But then, of course, the main event, the BMF title. To determine who is going to be the baddest man on the planet. Look, you know, it's such an honor to be able to place this title around the waist of the winner, Jorge Masvidal. Whether it's Jorge, whether it's Nate Diaz, again, it's such an honor. And I just want to oh, I see what you want. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. All right, thank you. You know, I got to say that I just wanted to come out here and just take a moment. Number one, let you know how excited I was about this fight. New York City, Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the world, and an arena that I have such a profound respect for. I started my career here in New York City. I had my very first wrestling match in Madison Square Garden, and that crowd, that arena, and this city embraced me like a son, like I know you guys are going to embrace that main event and all the fighters tomorrow night. So that said, there's something that I just wanted to announce. I'm very excited to announce this. I wanted to start with the MMA community. I wanted to start with the UFC fans. I wanted to start with you guys first. And that announcement is, I'm proud to say that myself and 7 Bucks Productions are going to make a film about the life of one of your founding fathers, the pioneering founding fathers, the smashing machine, Mark Kerr. Everybody's hyped. I love you back. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. So that's an announcement I'm very excited about. I think we have a few questions. Yes.
Hey, Dwayne.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, congratulations on the announcement.
Oh, thank you, man. Very excited.
I think a lot of the MMA community have already known that you've been a fan of this sport for a long time. But what about this topic and this subject got you interested that you had to get involved in the project?
Well, you know, yes, I've been a fan of MMA for a very, very long time, a fan of these fighters, a fan of these warriors. And, you know, when you think about the world of MMA that everybody in this room loves, and we have such a great respect for and a love and a reverence, is, you know, from my perspective, you know, there's individuals in MMA. There's warriors in MMA, men and women, who have this incredible humanity, who have achieved these incredible accomplishments. And that's what I want the world to see. Because these men and women who, again, we love all around the world who are in MMA, sacrifice so much. And there's so much pressure. There is so much pressure for them to win, there's so much pressure for them to succeed, and there's so much pressure for them to remain on top if they're fortunate enough to be on top. Mark Kerr's story is such an incredible story. Here's a guy who won the 2-time heavyweight tournament, the early stages of UFC, and here's also a guy who went over to Pride. He had this incredible run, as many of these warriors have, and I wanted to shine a spotlight on this man who is still alive, but also, you know, I think what's interesting about Mark Kerr's story is, you know, yes, he achieved so much in his life. He was a smashing machine, undefeated for a long time, but also, like all of us, and like a lot of these fighters, battled these demons. And these demons of addiction, these demons of mental health, these demons of getting out and the pressure of fighting in front of 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people, and what that does to somebody. So here's a guy who has gone through it all, hit rock bottom, but the best part about Mark Kerr is that, like all of us in this room, and like these fighters, by the way, all these warriors, is every day you get up and you want to do a little bit better tomorrow than you did today.
So you're involved in this project, obviously. You're putting a belt on somebody's waist tomorrow. Are there any other goals related to the MMA world that you have on your bucket list?
Well, oh yes, so are you asking if I have an ambition to actually get in the octagon?
Well, hey, if that's there, that'd be fantastic.
I'm content with becoming Mark Kerr, and at this point, you know, the most successful part of my octagon career, I'm sure, would be my entrance music, and then that's where it would end.
Gotcha. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, DJ.
Hey, Ewag.
How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Good, congratulations.
Hold on, guys. Wait a second. There's clearly some good weed in New York City, but you guys gotta hold on a second.
So I wanted to ask about the role. This sounds like it's a dramatic role. You just said it's about a man who battled his demons, and we haven't really seen you tackle a dramatic role in this sense. We've seen you do comedy, we've seen you do a ton of action. Why were you drawn to this particular role?
I was drawn to Mark Kerr's story because he has such a compelling story. As many of you know, you might have seen the documentary A Smashing Machine. I watched it years ago, 12, 13 years ago. I was really moved by Mark's life and moved by his story. And at that time, you know, in the mid to late 90s, where I was cresting in the world of professional wrestling in the WWE, we had a lot of guys who, at that time in MMA, were fighting in the UFC, went over to Pride. We had a lot of friends. Mark and I were training kind of in the same circles at that time out in the West Coast in LA. So yes, it's a dramatic role, but Mark has actually lived a dramatic life. And again, it's an opportunity to shine the light on one of our warriors who not only deserves it, but also, you know, I think has this universal appeal and universal story. Again, the guy was a beast, and he was dominant, and there was only one like him, you know, at that time. You know, when you think about these fighters, Elizabeth, and a lot of you guys in here in this room know, you know, these warriors, these MMA, there's no other sport like MMA. There's no other sport like MMA with the multiple disciplines and the pressure and the fact that you put your life on the line, literally. Every time you step in a cage, you step in an octagon, you step in a ring. And so Mark's story is one of those stories that I want to tell. And also, again, when you think about these warriors, is they speak a different language. They speak a different language. And if you dig a little deeper than the physicality that they have, you know, there's a real character of depth to a lot of these warriors. And Mark is one of them. So I'm really excited about it. I talked with Mark today. Mark is a special dude, and he's really overwhelmed that this is happening. And I love that he trusts me with his life and with his story. And Mark actually said, I told him I was going to come and make the announcement to you know, our MMA world and the fans. And he said, you know, he said something pretty cool. He said, well, tell everybody I love them. And but he also said, he goes, I don't have the language to express just how grateful I am that you're sharing this story. So I thought that was really cool and beautiful, and I can't wait. I think that's it, or do we have more questions?
We got time for one more question.
One more question.
Yeah. Wayne, you touched on it a little bit. I mean, the Smashing Machine is not all highs. I mean, there's a lot of lows in there as well. It's a very powerful story for those that haven't seen it. So I'm curious, you know, getting Mark involved in this, was it difficult? I mean, did you have to talk to him much? And will he be involved with the project moving forward? Because again, it's you know, it's not just a fairy tale story.
No, it's not. And of course, Mark is going to be involved. And I've had, you know, conversations with Mark. Again, I've known Mark for years, and you know, we first met years and years ago. So Mark obviously is going to be involved. But also, too, you know, I told Mark, look, here's the best thing about it, you know, between Mark and myself and a lot of these UFC fighters, a lot of these MMA fighters, as you guys in this room have known, you know, there's this interesting parallel between, especially when I was in the WWE in the mid to late 90s, early 2000s, interesting parallel with the world of pro wrestling, MMA. We lost a lot of good friends of ours to addiction and drug use, who were these pro wrestlers dying at an early age, and some MMA wrestlers too, MMA fighters dying at an early age. So I told Mark, you know, look, here's the fact. You made it. You achieved greatness. You hit rock bottom. You're sober. You made it, and I'm going to shine the light on your life. All right. Thank you for those questions. And UFC fans, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. It's going to be an honor to put the BMF title around that waist, and an honor to become the Smashing Machine. I love y'all. Thank you.